All right, we're going to switch this over from an optional checkbox layout that you see here to a custom layout that gives them the option to select none, and then we'll default it to none in the list. This is outside of the scope of what it does, but I did figure out a way to make it work, and it's working really well. So let's go back and take a look at how we did that, or how I did that. So the first thing you've got to do is come over to the actual product where the bundles are, find the bundled item that you're working with, and then we're going to make some modifications to that product. Now, I used this number right here and did a search for products, and I get the stove bag options. There's one word of caution here. We are working with items for packages, and the reason we do that is because these are separate than what the general public are going to see for individual options. So if for some reason you're trying to modify an item that's been bundled into a product and it wasn't built specifically for bundles, you'll need to duplicate the live item, make it a category of items for bundles, and then modify that one. I know it sounds a little confusing, but if you ever get to that point, let me know. And the reason is because we're about to modify the attributes and options, and you want to do that just for the items that are bundled and not necessarily for the general public. So with that said, we'll move forward. We're going to go ahead and edit this particular product. We're going to go to attributes. We're going to look at the different combinations. So these are the different combinations that are available. These are what's going to show up in the drop-down list right here. We're going to go ahead and add one called none. So we're going to add a new one. Say OK. So now we have that as an option. So we're going to save the attributes. We're going to come over to variations. Now we're going to go add a variation. So we're just going to leave it right there. We're going to click go. We just want to add one. It's going to add a variation to the top of the list. We're going to come over here and we're going to select none, the one that we added. Then we're going to expand it. The price has to be set to 0.00. Otherwise, it won't show it. If it's just left blank, it won't show it in the drop down. So you've got to put 0.00 in there. For weight and sizes, we're going to set these all to 0 just for safety, but we're going to go ahead and turn this into a virtual product. So it's going to completely remove the whole weight factor, box size, and everything. All right, now that we have those two things done, we're going to go ahead and hit update. Now we're going to come back to the product that we had open a few minutes ago. So now that that's updated, we've got to reload this page so that all the changes will take effect. And the best way to do that is to hit update. This is going to go to the database and pull out any of the information that it needs to rebuild this page, including the new option that we just put in. So now we're going to scroll down. We're going to go to bundled products. We're going to go to tent and stove bag options. And from here, we're going to go ahead and add by clicking none. Then we're going to come over here for the default selection. We're going to set it to none, and we're going to uncheck optional. And then we're going to come up here and hit update. Now when we reload this page, it should change it from this configuration to this configuration. Just like that, and then there's the different options. So if I select one, it'll add it into the total price. If I take it out, it'll set it back to 0. So I have that all set for this particular page, but you can use that option in a variety of different other ways. But it looks like it's working now, so let me know if you run into any issues with this. The only one word of caution I would bring over is when I was doing the tent flooring, because there's actually two options available, the 10 by 10 and the options, it did put in 2 blanks for everything. I'm not exactly sure why it does that. Sometimes things get wonky when there's a whole lot of lists like that. It did put 2 in, and I had to clean some out. Let me know if you have any other difficulties with this.